Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the Hobby Dude 007 channel. Why do I build what I build? Let's talk about that. Sorry about that, guys. I had to do a wardrobe change real quick. I had a beverage malfunction, so something else I need to address real quick. As you see the donuts in my glasses there, the light reflection. I have a passion for donuts without having to be reminded of it, so I'm going to take my glasses off here. Okay, a few days ago, Matthew over at Model Car Videos put a question out. He posed a question that why do we build what we build? We all have our favorite little this or that subjects, but what is it about that? Why is that? You know, this is a question that I could ramble on, and I probably will here in a minute. But I thought about that over the weekend, and I watched a number of the other content creators and what they had to say, their answer to the question. And Jason at Blue Ox had, I have to agree with him. Um, Fred at West Georgia Rods and Customs, had to agree with him. Even Kim in Denmark with Kim's Custom Garage, got to agree with him. And all the other guys, for the most part, I have to say I agree with all of them on their reasoning. And a lot of it is just the passion for what we have. And I'm not sure if passion's the right word. And Jason mentioned, I think the word he used was obsession. Well, I want to get on that just briefly. What I think I have where I have an obsession when it comes to a kit. But for me, I'm an old school gearhead, very old school. When I was 4 or 5 years old, I could go out in the back, and my dad would be working on his '39 Ford. And by the time I was 5 years old, I could walk back there, and he could point at something, and I'd tell him carburetor, valve covers, distributor cap, radiator, battery, fan belt, whatever it was he pointed at, I could tell him what it was at 5, 6 years old. So early on, I had an intimate knowledge of a car. And over the years, I have rebuilt engines. I've done a lot of stuff like that. And of course, you guys know that I've shared with you before. In 1977, I got my first NASCAR license. I worked on a limited late model team, and later a late model sportsman team, which is now the Xfinity class. And I just had a passion for cars, specifically race cars. My dad not only drag raced and had his little street rods, but my uncles Bub and Toby ran gassers. And I think Toby ran super stock in Southern California when he lived out there. So I was around these things in the pits or in the shop, wherever it was. I got to know a lot about these race cars, and I always loved the round trackers too. So stock cars were my kind of first love because intimately I knew inside them, underneath them, under the hood, all the way through the car. And so the more I knew about something, the more I really liked building that. And the challenge was, for me anyway, how am I going to take what I know is real and replicate that in scale? So to me, it was more of a challenge, but it was also a challenge in a form of car that I really, really liked. Um, Not that I haven't built other things, because I have. I've sometimes whatever catches my eye. I was at a law enforcement school in Anaheim, California, and walked a few blocks from the hotel to a local hobby shop, and I saw a helicopter on display in a case that when I got back to South Carolina, I went and bought one and built it. So kind of whatever was hot at that particular moment in my mind, something unique. And I've built armor and ships and all that kind of stuff too, aircraft, and it's fun. And it does break the monotony of staying with one thing and getting in that modeling funk. But you know what? I just discovered I am rambling already. I didn't mean to do that, guys. But why I build what I build is it's kind of what catches my eye, what I like. When Pro Street came out, and I know a lot of people love Pro Street. Let me tell you, I didn't know much about them. I knew about the engines, but I didn't know much about the tubbing and the rear end and the suspension and all that stuff. But when I got the magazines, I started getting online when they started coming online. Man, I started learning, and I've built two of them. I don't know why I haven't built more because I think they are wicked. One of the things that I don't have an interest in that's automotive is tuners. And it's not that I don't have an appreciation for them because I've seen some gorgeous tuners. Um, but I'm an old school man. Give me a big block and some horsepower, some raw horsepower. But race cars are my big thing. Stock cars are my first passion, and I just from being around them, learning about them, working on them, and having that intimate knowledge that started with my dad, through my uncles, and then into my personal experiences. That's where I am with it, guys. Um, so I guess my answer would be it's just whatever I'm passionate about at that moment. Now, Jason said something about an obsession, and I wouldn't say that I'm obsessed with anything in particular other than when I get this close to being finished with a project and I see it in my mind's eye finished, and I want to make sure that becomes reality. The closer I get to finishing, the more intensely I work on it to make it happen. So that's the only time I think that I'm obsessed with something is right at the finish line. I want to get it done. When I'm getting closer and closer and closer, then it becomes that obsession to let's get it done now. But you know what? The biggest reason I do any kind of car that I do is to relax and have fun, guys. If it's not fun, then I don't want to do it. A lot of my life was spent in a uniform, and my relaxation, my escape was building a model car. Took my mind away from other things, and I just was able to relax and challenge myself to build this car. And the big thing was that made it fun. And it's still, after July this past year, was just over 60 years I've been building model cars. And guys, it's still fun. It's still relaxing. It's still just a blast, man. That's why I do what I do. And I don't know if this has helped or confused. Again, I've rambled a bit through this. And again, like I said, it's an easy subject to ramble on some. But it's still fun. And if you hadn't built a model in a while, grab one. Have some fun. I think you'll really enjoy it. Over the years, I just keep challenging myself. And here I am going off on a tangent again. So I'm going to stop that. So, guys, God bless. Thank you for listening. If you're not a subscriber, show us some love. Give us a thumbs up. Leave a comment. I always enjoy hearing from everybody. And, guys, until next time, God bless. See ya.